Hello dear student, today we will be going to elaborate the next one topic in the in the operational amplifier. Let us start our today's journey. Okay, now the concept of feedback. So I think all of you aware about that the feedback. Okay, here the amplifier which is the present which is amplify the signal of the input to the output side. Okay, if the feedback is not used into there, then such type of gain is known as open loop gain. It is known as open loop gain A. If we consider the output is required the 50 volt and we have getting only the 10 volt, we apply the 2 volt here. Okay, or if we apply the 3 volt is here and we can getting only the 9 volt at an output and but require the 15 volt. So how much gain is required to amplify up to the 15? So I think the 5 gain is required to the amplification of the 15. So when this thing is understanding, when we take the feedback, when we take the feedback of the output signal. Okay, so according to that, in the operational amplifier there are two kinds of feedback. One is known as the negative feedback, another one is known as positive feedback. Okay, the process to take the output power to the input is known as the feedback. What is meant by the negative feedback? When the output signal which is taken to the input side, it is in out of phase, then this is known as negative feedback. So what is meant by negative feedback? Like a very simple example, if we apply this positive sinusoidal waveform which is a vary with respect to the time t, the first one initially is the positive, and in the feedback signal which will be come out into there, first one cycle is the negative and next one is the positive. Then when we can take the feedback which is the out of phase is known as the negative feedback. Now the next one is positive feedback. So what is meant by the positive feedback? When the output energy is to come into the input which is the same in phase. That means if the this is a positive and we can also providing the positive phase with the input side which is vary with respect to the mt, then this is known as the positive feedback. Here according to the positive and negative feedback, these are different applications. Negative feedback, it is useful in the amplifier, and positive feedback is useful in the oscillatory circuits. So let us see negative feedback. Here as shown in the block diagram, this is the gain of an amplifier. It is the input signal, it is the output signal which is the output is taken to the feedback with the feedback factor is the m. So our feedback gain A F, it is equal to, for the negative feedback it is 1 A divided by 1 plus A beta. This is formula for negative feedback, and positive feedback is AF is equal to gain A divided by 1 minus A beta. So let us see one by one. Okay, so we already seen this diagram. In this diagram, our output it is a depend upon the gain and the difference of our input signal minus of the feedback. Why the minus? Because it is a negative feedback. Minus m is the feedback our gain factor and the output signal. Then we multiply this a with this term a sn am s out. Here this term and this term both are, if this negative term is going to at that place, then s out is get common 1 minus 1 plus a m, and here a sign is present. Now this s out is here and sn is going to at that place, and 1 plus am is going to here. Now s out divided by s in, The output signal to the input signal, it is a closed loop gain, and this open loop gain a 1 plus am. Generally the value m is always in between the 0 to 1, so the feedback is less than gain without feedback. This is the gain formula for positive, sorry, it is a negative feedback. This negative feedback, it is useful for the amplification purpose, and positive feedback is useful for the oscillation purpose. For example, if the A beta is equal to 0, sorry, A beta is equal to 1, then 1 minus 1, it is equal to 0. So the A divided by 0, that means gain is infinite. That means if the A beta, that is a Barkhausen criteria, A beta is always greater than or equal to 1, then what happen? The our gain, which is amplify the any one signal up to the infinity. So this is the application of the positive feedback and negative feedback. Thank you so much.